Hi and welcome to Bakery Cottage. Today I'm going to show you how to make a fabulous traditional ginger cake. This recipe is really easy to do, so it's one that's great to do with the children as well, and it's one of those fabulous things which you can have as a pudding along with some fabulous custard or some gorgeous vanilla ice cream, or it will keep in a box, probably not for that long in my house, but it will keep in a box and you can enjoy. Just cut a slice of cake. So we're going to start off by measuring out 100 grams of black treacle. That's wonderful, fabulous, dark black treacle. It's really thick and lovely. Now that's 100 grams. Whoop, just like that. Just go back in there. There we go. I will wipe the top of that tin off in a minute. Plus, into that we need 100 grams of golden syrup. Yeah, this is not one to have when you're on a diet, this recipe. So this is 100 grams of golden syrup. Let's just get that back down to the bottom of the jar. I tell you what, while that's thinking about that, let's do the 100 grams of soft brown sugar. So it's very simple to remember. It's 100 grams of black treacle, 100 grams of golden syrup, and 100 grams of soft brown sugar. So I just put this one in while we're waiting for the golden syrup to come back down to the bottom. So let's go into that for 100 grams of the soft brown sugar. Oh, my spoon's about to sink in. There we go. And adding to that, we need the 100 grams of golden syrup. A much easier way when these golden syrups rather than they just get that big squeeze. So, and then we're using stem ginger and ground ginger in this recipe. So we're going to add, we are going to add 50 grams of chopped stem ginger. So just get the rest of this. I need another 50 grams of golden syrup. Come on, let's get this big squeeze going on here. Okay, so that's the 100 grams of golden syrup going in. So 100 grams of brown sugar, 100 grams of black treacle, and 100 grams of golden syrup. There we go. Now the stem ginger, you'll be pleased to know that I've already chopped up and prepared. So there's the stem ginger. So that's just going in to the pan like that. Now we need to put this on a gentle heat so the treacle and golden syrup warm up and then the brown sugar gently melts. So I'm just going to take that over to the agar. Just give it a bit of a stir first and put it on the agar and let that just gently heat. Okay, so while that is heating, you can measure out your dry ingredients. So in this bowl here, I have got 225 grams of self-raising flour, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. So you're using both stem ginger and ground ginger for this recipe, so it will give a really lovely intense flavour of ginger through the cake. You've got half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of bicarb of soda. So we're going to add to this 100 grams of butter. So this is 100 grams of butter. I've just diced it up. So that's going to go in there like that. And we're going to put that into the mixer, just gently to mix in the butter so it resembles. And so it's all mixed in, so it resembles like sort of breadcrumbs. So while that is happening, and while your treacle and golden syrup is all melting and becoming lovely, you can prepare your tin. So this is a 20 to 23 centimetre square tin, which I've greased with some margarine or butter, and then I've lined it with some baking paper. Okay, so that's your tin which is already prepared for you. Okay, so that's all good and ready. So let's just check the mixer. Speed that up a little bit. And while that is doing that, I'm just going to go back to the agar and check the golden syrup and treacle. Okay, so this is now becoming a really lovely gooey combined mix. which is just what we want. Brown sugar to melt and everything to become combined. Okay, so just give a few more seconds on here. Just making sure that brown sugar is, you want to make sure it's not on too high a heat because you don't want this to burn, okay? You just want it to gently heat through. So don't put it on a really intense heat because then the sugar will burn and you'll get a completely different kind of flavour in your cake. Okay, so once that is done, let's bring that back over here. Okay, and we can turn this mix it off. Now into that we want to add our milk. So that is 200 millilitres of milk, and you want to stir that all in. And then you also want to beat in your eggs. So I've got 2 free-range eggs, which I'm just going to add into this mix as well. Now you want to make sure your golden syrup mix has cooled down a little bit, because you don't want to add your eggs straight into the mix if it is too warm, because you will end up with a sort of scrambled egg situation, which won't be great. Okay, so let's just mix those all in together, and that's really your wet ingredients there. So far, very simple cake to make. Now we're just going to get our dry ingredients. So once again, this is your flour, your ginger, your cinnamon and your bicarb soda and your butter all nicely combined in there to kind of resemble sort of small breadcrumbs. Now we're just going to simply add this mixture into that. So I love this recipe because it's so simple to do, which I think is always great with all recipes. No one wants a long, complicated recipe. Okay, so then we're just going to stir this in to form a nice mix. You want to make sure this is really well combined, so you don't get any funny lumpy bits coming out. So you could, once again, put this on the mixer if you wanted to. We can just do that by hand for a few minutes, get that all combined, work up those muscles, guys. This is a bit of your kitchen exercise, your workout in January in the kitchen. Okay, so there we go. Can you see the mixture there? Smells really gorgeous. You really get that ginger flavour already coming out in that cake. Now it looks a little bit lumpy, but do not worry, that's actually the ginger, the chopped ginger in there, nothing else lurking. So now that's going to go into this tin. And like I said, it's going to take 45 minutes in the oven. Oopsie, that's a bit of them combined. I'll stir that in a minute. So if you do get any bits of flour that come through, like I've just got in there and it hasn't been quite mixed up, you can just give it a final mix in your cake tin. So just give it a mix like that. Now I was actually thinking it'd be quite nice to add, if you wanted to add anything to this recipe, you could add something like grated orange zest would be quite nice, or if you wanted to add, maybe you could add some chopped walnuts would be quite nice. So always with your recipes think, okay, what else would be quite nice to add to this? Okay, so this is going to go into the oven at 180 degrees, or if you like me, you've got an Arga, it'll go into the bottom oven down here for 45 minutes. Now, while that is doing its thing, I'm just going to make a topping for the cake. So I've got 100 grams of icing sugar here. Into that we're going to add some syrup from the ginger and a couple of tablespoons of water, which I've added already to the ginger syrup. So you want to just add this into the icing sugar. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. And when the cake comes out of the oven, you want to let it cool for about 10 minutes and then pierce it all over the top with a skewer, and then pour this over the top, and it will give a really lovely glossy finish to the cake, and once again a bit more flavour of the ginger going through. So have that ready at hand to put on the cake when it comes out of the oven after it's cooked. And then, my lovely friends, it's all ready for you to enjoy, either with a good dollop of custard or a big spoonful of ice cream. Please show us your cakes if you make them. We'd love to see photos of your makes. If you want to see the video again, it's on our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe our channel. We'll be back with lots of other recipes and ideas for you very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.